गणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि वसिष्ठवामदेवादिवन्दितमहागणपतिम् महादेवसुतं गुरुगुहनुतं महादेवसुतं गुरुगुहनुतं मारकोटिप्रकाशं शान्तं मारकोटिप्रकाशं शान्तं महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियम् महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियं मूषिकवाहनमोदकप्रियं महाकाव्यनाटकादिप्रियं मूषिकवाहनमोदकप्रियं महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि वसिष्ठवामदेवादिवन्दितमहागणपतिम्.
That was quite soothing. Thank you, Chandana. In the rich tradition of our culture, the lighting of the ceremonial lamp signifies the removal of darkness and illumination of knowledge and wisdom. As the saying goes, Tamosoma Jyotirgamaya, lead us from darkness to light. To mark the auspicious beginning of this conference, we will now proceed with the ceremonial lighting of the lamp. I respectfully invite our esteemed chief guest and the distinguished dignitaries on the dais to kindly come forward and light the lamp and grace this occasion. Today marks the beginning of an inspiring academic gathering where ideas, innovation, and collaboration come together under one platform. Conferences like ISSF are not just about presentations and discussions. They are spaces where knowledge is shared, perspectives are broadened, and new possibilities are created. Our university stands as a center of learning that beautifully blends traditional wisdom with modern education. Established with a vision of nurturing young minds and promoting meaningful research, the university has steadily grown into a vibrant academic community. The ISSF 2026 conference serves as an important platform that brings together researchers, academicians, industry experts, and young innovators from different institutions and backgrounds. The focus of this conference is to explore how intelligent technologies and systems can contribute to building a more sustainable and responsible future. Over the next 2 days, we look forward to insightful keynote sessions, stimulating technical discussions, and valuable research presentations that will enrich our understanding and inspire future innovations. It is my privilege to invite the person who has been instrumental in bringing this conference together and whose dedication has played a significant role in organizing ISSF 2026. I now invite Professor K. Balachandran, convener of ISSF 2026, to deliver the welcome address and extend a cordial welcome to the distinguished dignitaries, delegates, and participants gathered here today.
Starting with the 70 feet tall statue that we are seeing daily, Adi Shankaracharya. Then this institute has been named after a great personality, Mahaperiva, Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamigal. Number 3, Sri Jayendra Saraswati Swamigal, who was instrumental to ensure that this institution comes up to this particular stature. 4th, the current Peethadipati Pujya Sri Vijayendra Saraswati Swamigal. And last, Sri Satya Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Swamigal. The 5 pillars who bless us through their blessings and divine interventions, they help us to carry forward. To run this particular show, we have got 5 stalwarts. Starting with, we have got a Padma Shri, Vempati Kudumba Shastri Garu, stands for V. He is a chancellor of the university. We have got a vice chancellor, Sri Srinivas Garu, stands for S. We have a pro vice chancellor, Dr. Vasant Kumar Mehta, stands for V. And we have a registrar, Mr. Sriram, stands for yes. And to run the show, we have a resourceful person called Ratnakumar Sir, the Dean of Faculty of Engineering. So the institution runs based on the 2 V's, 2 yes, and 1 R for our day-to-day survivals. This conference has been earmarked or conceptualized in the IIT Madras with the patronage of the IIT Madras, and it has come to this particular stage. When we started this particular work, we were not knowing to the scale what we will be reaching today. We are indeed pleasure to have with us 2 of the stalwarts from the industry, Dr. Charan Gurumurthy, the Chief Executive, Tata Semiconductor Assembly and Testing, who is a pioneer researcher, pioneer industrialist, working in various organizations and culminating into Tata Semiconductor Assembly and Testing Private Limited. We have got one more expert, Dr. Shivakumar Kalyanaraman, the CEO of Anusandhan National Research Foundation, ANRF, who will be joining through the online mode. And we have Dr. Raj Mohan, the organizing secretary of this particular conference. And we have got various plethora of experts, deans, directors, HODs, faculty members, researchers, honorable guests from various other institutions, staffs, and my dear students. This great institution, which aims with a mission called quality education rooted in the Indian value system that is affordable and accessible for all the sections of the society, irrespective of their social and economic standing. we truly believe this, and we welcome you all for this international conference on the intelligent systems and sustainable future. 2 days back, on 10th, we witnessed a plethora of Sanskrit professionals enhancing the Indian values and knowledge system through Akhila Bharatiya Shastrotsava, an elocution competition of the national level, which is based on the Indian traditional knowledge system. Today, we are inaugurating a session which is based on the modern technology. So this university, which is a pure blend of Indian knowledge systems, interpreting with the modern knowledge system, truly reflects the two programs that is happening simultaneously. Today we stand in the confluence of the tradition and technology. When tradition meets technology, the future becomes timeless. Knowledge rooted in the values created innovations rooted with the responsibility. When we talk about the focus of, or the theme of this conference, international conference, intelligent systems for the sustainable future. Again, there are 5 pillars we will be talking about. What are they? In short, they are called EFCRN. E stands for the energy, smart way of energy saving. In terms of the population, we are ahead of China. Probably we are around 1.47 billion. China is little behind us, 1.4 billion, and followed by 350 billion of US. In terms of the energy consumption, if you look into it, China takes around 26% of the world energy. US takes about 16%. India hardly consumes around 7% of the energy. There's a lot of research, lot of focus that we need to put in this particular sector of the energy saving, and it has to be a smart energy saving. Then, the next point of the 5 pillars is the F, stands for the farming. India basically a agriculture-focused industrial environment country. Everything is based on the agriculture, farming. Almost 45% of the workforce are either directly or indirectly employed in the farming sectors. And 18% of our GDP is basically from the agriculture products. And most of this, almost 50% of our agriculture produce or the yields depends upon the rainfall. So we need to find a solution, smart solution, start ideas. How do we effectively make use of this farming industry to go into a smart way? The third one of the pillar, which stands for C. C stands for the cities, smart towns. The focus is to create self-sustainable smart cities where everything has to be integrated. The fourth stands for R, the resourcefulness, the resourceful usage. How do we effectively use the resources that's available? How do we optimize it? Smart way of using our resources. The last one stands for the nature, preservation of the nature, N. So these 5 pillars form the very basis of intelligent systems and the sustainable future. And coming 2 days, we are going to hear a lot of ideas, lot of deliberations, lot of research focus, lot of expert talks, keynote addresses, addressing to various avenues, various possibilities, various directions in which the intelligent systems and a sustainable future can be agglomerated and merged. And we have delighted to have received more than 700 research articles, papers from various researchers, industries, scholars, and students. So it will be a treat to our ears and minds as we explore advancements in the diverse aspects of the intelligent systems. For the students, Many times we don't know. We study all the things. We don't know where to concentrate, which direction we have to go. Sometimes a small spark can create a direction for your entire future or a professional environment. Probably that spark may be lying today and tomorrow in any of the speeches going to be given by the domain experts, keynote address people, or the research scholars. Many of the ideas normally comes from a very small seeds. Probably you may get those seeds in the 2 days of time what you are going to spend and what you are going to interact with the domain professionals. With this, I welcome you all for this August conference, and I hope this conference will be a great boon to the budding researchers, technologists, technocrats, industrialists, and mostly the students. Thank you all. I remain.
Thank you, sir. We now take a moment to honor our distinguished chief guest, Mr. Charan Gurumurthy. I now request Professor Dr. M. Ratina Kumar, Dean, Engineering and Technology, to kindly felicitate the chief guest. Every conference has a vision and a purpose that brings together scholars, researchers, and industry experts under one platform to give us a better understanding of the theme, objectives, and scope of this international conference. We now invite the organizing secretary of ISSF 2026, Dr. T. Rajmohan, who has played a vital role in planning and coordinating this event. I now request Dr. T. Rajmohan to kindly address the gathering and share insights about ISSF 2026.
Good morning to one and all present here. Respected Dean Sir, Professor Ratana Kumar Sir, distinguished guest, Dr. Charan Sir and Dr. Shivakumar Kalyanam Sir, CEO Enathur, directors, deans, head of the departments, faculty members, authors, and students. The International Conference on Intelligent Systems for Sustainable Future, ISSF 2026, provides an important platform for researchers, academicians, industry professionals, and scholars to present their innovative research in the area of artificial intelligence, data science, Internet of Things, smart systems, renewable energy, and sustainable technologies. We are pleased to inform that the conference received around 800 plus papers from various institutions and research organizations. All the papers underwent a rigorous peer review process conducted by nearly 50 reviewers comprising national, international, and local experts, ensuring quality, originality, and relevance of research work. After careful evaluation, around 200 plus high-quality papers have been selected for presentation and publication in the conference. The accepted papers will be presented in the technical sessions during the conference, facilitating knowledge exchange and interaction among the researchers. Selected and registered paper will be published in Scopus indexed conference proceedings such as ITM WebHub Conference and Atlantis Press Springer Nature, providing international visibility and recognition for the authors. The conference also features distinguished keynote sections delivered by eminent academicians and industry experts, highlighting emerging technologies and innovative research directions for a sustainable future. Hence, ISSF 2026 aims to promote interdisciplinary collaboration and encourage technological innovation that contribute to sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for clearly outlining the vision and significance of ISSF 2026 and for giving us a deeper insight into the purpose and expectations of this conference. A guiding force behind many academic and research initiatives in the Faculty of Engineering and Technology, Professor Dr. M. Ratinakumar is known for his commitment to academic excellence and innovation. It is indeed an honor to invite Sir to deliver the presidential address.
Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devu, Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Paratmatma. Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. The blessings of great Acharyas of Shankar Mutt. Today, we are in inaugural ceremony of the Conference for Intelligence System for Sustainable Future. So first I am really congratulating the organizers for organizing such a title, Intelligence System for Sustainable Future. That is what the key word. Today, world is not in a comfortable position. Right now, we are now in a very severe energy crisis. Right now, we are in a very severe, very awkward situation in water management in India. Not only in India, it is throughout a global phenomenon. And where Professor Balasubramanian clearly outlined a lot of points. One more point I want to add it. India is witnessing massive migration from rural to urban areas, like what happened in China in 1980s. Millions and millions of people, they're migrating to Indian cities from rural area. Agriculture is no more a profitable occupation in India. It's not sustaining the country. People think like that actually. Even though government of India is promising, come with a lot of subsidies, lot of ideas and everything, still we are struggling to stop this migration. So one time, maybe 3 to 5 years, maybe another 10 years, a massive emergency situation is going to arise where cities cannot be managed. With this kind of growth, with this kind of urbanization, gradual urbanization. There are two states in India. One is Tamil Nadu, second is Maharashtra. Most urbanized state in India. No other state went for urbanization. Maharashtra, almost 80% is urbanized. Tamil Nadu is slowly catching Maharashtra. People are migrating from villages and settling in the cities. It crossed this massive migration of human people. Human traffic creates a tremendous pressure. Our resources are very limited. Our resources are very limited. And we are struggling to modernization. But one thing is very positive. In India, Indian context concern, we are a stable democracy country. We are having a stable democratic government. So democracy is our virtue. So systematically, every year, every plan, Government of India, with support of all the technological scientific community, we are trying to introduce what are the developments happening in the scientific world to sustain our development. A development without sustaining, without balancing in all the context is very dangerous. It happened already happened in China. China is maybe hiding a lot of facts. China is the most economically polluted country in the world. You cannot, lot of places cannot fit to live because of massive industrialization. So we don't want to go to that kind of situations. So that's why the context of that intelligence system of a sustainable future suits correct time. So sustainable intelligence solution with a proper, because of advent of AI, it can be implemented because all data driven. And fortunately, our country very strong in IT sector and research, a lot of research, and we are contributing more to the world community in data science, data development, data analytics and everything. So with the available and proven algorithmic using AI and other tools, we hope that this gap of massive migration from rural to urban area can be met. Students, our research is going to discuss for next 2 days about the challenges what we are going to face. Our resources are very, very limited. India is not a resourceful country. It is not blessed with natural resources like Africa or China or America, USA. We have limited natural resources. And we have to sustain a population of 1.2 billion aspirating Indians who want all kind of comfort, what is offered in other developed countries. We also need. We want to have a very high-speed traffic, sustainable agriculture growth. We want smart cities, smart home. We want smart administration. So we need everything. So people are demanding more. So at that time, how to meet? So AI and other intelligent tools is going to help us students. And we, Indians, going to contribute more in this field. You know that semiconductor revolution is already taking, we are also taking part in India. We don't want to depend upon Western countries, and correct suitable person now we are having today with us to highlight us what kind of next revolution India is going to lead. It's going to be semiconductor industries. The dependability of Western countries for technology is gone. We don't want any technology from any country. We can produce n number of technology. Our researchers, budding researchers are there. And very importantly, funds are available now. Plenty of funds are available there. Resources are there. Aspiring students are there. Aspiring researchers are there. So I hope that this forum is going to help. One of this kind is arranged a lot of forum with the pattern of IIT Madras, IIT Chennai. We are arranging this conference. They only guided us to arrange this kind of conference so that our students, we also be a part of that cycle towards our sustainable future using whatever the intelligent technology we're having. So I welcome all the participants, researchers, students, faculty, all the distinguished lecture people, professors, academics, to take part, deliberate, and try to share the idea, and take this idea, convert this idea to some product, some development, so that the great country like India will also very sustain our growth, and will grow without any hindrance. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. That was quite motivational. It is a great honor to have with us a distinguished industry leader whose work has significantly contributed to the advancement of semiconductor technology. Our chief guest, Dr. Charan Gurumurthy, is the Chief Executive of Tata Semiconductor Assembly and Test Private Limited and Senior Vice President at Tata Electronics. He leads the foundry and outsourced semiconductor assembly and test business and plays a key role in strengthening India's semiconductor ecosystem. Dr. Charan Gurumurthy brings with him over 2 decades of global experience in the semiconductor industry. Prior to joining Tata Electronics, he served in several leadership roles at Intel Corporation from 2002 to 2023, and earlier worked with IBM Microelectronics, contributing to advanced semiconductor technology development and manufacturing. His expertise spans technology development, high-volume manufacturing, global supply chains, factory startup operations, and technology transfer, making him a respected leader in this field. Dr. Charan Gurumurthy holds a PhD in Material Science and Engineering from Cornell University, USA, and completed his undergraduate degree in Mechanical Engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Roorkee. He has over 55 patents and more than 15 research publications to his credit, and also serves as an associate editor for IEEE Transactions on Components, Packaging, and Manufacturing Technology, reflecting his strong contributions to research and innovation. With such remarkable experience spanning industry leadership, innovation, and research, it is truly a privilege to have him with us today. I now request Dr. Charan Gurumurthy to kindly deliver the chief guest address.
Good morning. Hopefully everyone had breakfast. Good morning. Much better. A great honor to be here. I first want to thank the distinguished delegates who are here, faculty and students, and also great pleasure for to be here, Vasant Mehjandi, to invite me to this distinguished forum. I'm very happy to be here. I did not prepare anything. Right? I wanted to come look at you and speak from my heart. Is that okay? How many of you? Can you hear me at the back? Right in the back, can you hear me? Okay, very good. So I want to speak from my heart, right? First, I am very jealous of almost all of you here. I'll tell you why. And I see a lot of students. How many of you are students? Raise your hand. Oh, majority of you. Very delighted to see you. You are the future of the nation. So I'm very jealous of you because you are starting your career at a time when the pace of change, the pace of execution, the pace of development, pace of scientific advancement, artificial driven, everything is booming, right? So I think like the rate at which your learning will go will be far greater than the rate at which the learning that we were able to have during the time when we started our career. So I'm jealous of you. I'm also jealous of the faculty here because when I finished my PhD, I wanted to be in academia. And so I tried a few places and people kicked me out. And so then I went into industry. I remember telling the manager that hired me, don't invest too much in me because I'll probably be here 6 months and then I'll go find myself a faculty position in a top university and I'll be gone. And I remember him telling me his name is Nasser Grayali. He's an Iranian guy. He told me, Charan, I'll make it so compelling that you wouldn't even feel that this is outside of academia. And true to that, what I thought would be 6 months turned out to be 23 years I worked for Intel Corporation in Chandler, Arizona, United States. So, thank you. So overall, I returned to India after close to 30 years in the United States. Why would I return to India? Right? I want to recall a personal story. In 2003, I think, I met Shankaracharya, Vijayendra Saraswati Swamigal. 2003, we were a very casual meeting. I was in a business suit and I just happened to come to India and I was transiting for something. We had some downtime. We said, Kanchipuram is close by, go check it out. And we were two of us, one actually an American. We were two of us standing at the very back. There were like 500,000 people ahead of us and Swamigal was sitting far ahead. There is no way he could have physically seen us. We were so far in the back. Few mud people came to us and said, Acharya is calling you. I said, there's no way possible. Somebody wearing a suit and a tie and clearly doesn't belong here in the mud, and why would Acharya call us? But long story short, he called us and he spoke to me and he asked about semiconductors. And I was thinking, he's a religious leader, distinguished religious leader. Why is he asking about details about semiconductors? Not just what is it. He was asking about how do you do it? What is the process flow? How the rest of the country in the world? Finally, he ended up with the question, why India doesn't have it? Right? I was very surprised. I told him, Acharya, this is a most complex thing done by human beings. We deal with nanometers, atomic scales, right? And subatomic scales, and we deal with quantum effects and that kind of thing. He said, our Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, all these Vedas deal with quantum effects. All these deal with subatomic particles, right? Why do you think we cannot deal with semiconductors, right? That was eye-opening for me. And then the next question he asked me, why don't you come to India and work? I was like, I really work in the most advanced thing. It requires like very high capital investment. It requires the top-notch talent of the world and to be able to do semiconductors in the country. And so it's not that we have not tried. We have been trying for close to 2-3 decades. And when I told him, he said, and he laughed at me and said, do you know better or I know better? And then time passed by. 2016 or so, I got another opportunity to have the darshanam of Swamigal. He asked me the same question. He remembered me from 14 years ago. And then he asked me the same question. Oh, you're the semiconductor guy. Why didn't we start in India? I gave the same reason. Swamigal, still the same, right? It requires a lot of capital investment. We cannot put millions of dollars. You have to put billions of dollars in order to bring semiconductors into the country, and it requires the top-notch talent, and neither of which we unfortunately do not have. And then he repeated the same comment that I think you should come to India and start working. So I was thinking that maybe he's telling me I should change my field of work and come to India, do something else. And considering his elected position, anything he says, I take it seriously. Long story short, I don't want to belabor the point. I am here in India now working for our own nation, bringing semiconductors to the nation, right? So that shows the really long foresight that Acharya has. And considering this university is associated with the MAT and the Acharya is closely engaging in running of this university, all of you are truly blessed to be part of this university. And I am honored to at least spend a day here. So thank you very much for inviting me. The next thing I want to say, right, forget about technology, advancement, sustainability, all these are all jargons, right? what I want to tell you, India has a lot going for us. There is one thing that I consistently find missing in India compared to the rest of the nations. And many of you might know, it's our mindset, right? I tell you what I mean by that. Why is that we lay a road in India, automatically both sides of the road becomes a garbage can, right? Whereas you take all of you, I take you to Singapore, I take you to New York, I take you to London. If something is on the floor, you'll pick it up, put it in your pocket and say, wow, this needs to be clean. Why? We talk about sustainability and everything. Why is it that we don't think about something so simple that our nation has to be very clean? And we go in and say the temple has gone bad, roads have gone bad, that has gone bad. Nothing has gone bad, we have gone bad. Who is putting all those plastic in the road? Who is putting all those garbage cans on either side of the road? It's us. So the first thing I want to very honestly talk about is you are very young people and you're going to bear the nation into the future, right? Sustainability doesn't start with like doing something big and everything. Let's start at home. Let's start at our roads outside our home. Let's start at our offices. Cleanliness. If there is something that you can do to educate us, to reduce, reuse, recycle, and reduce the amount of garbage we create, at least the visible garbage we create. The whole country looks like a landfill. It hurts me to see our nation. That there was one of my American friends commented to me, in India, right, everywhere else there is garbage can. In India, India is garbage can. You know how much it hurts, right? While getting sensitive and saying it hurts and everything, and crying for a half a day is not enough. What are we doing about it? So the first thing I want to tell our students here and faculty also who are guiding the students, get that leadership mindset. We want to be, it is not sloganeering to go in and say we'll become Viksit Bharat and we want to lead the world and everything. It all starts with small action from every one of us and having that leadership mindset, right? So I give you another example, right? I'm a big fan of Swami Vivekananda. I read something when I came to India, and one of the things we might know about our effort, Tata Semiconductor and Assembly, we decided, very deliberately we decided that we will develop our own technology, right, in the semiconductor assembly. It's very hard, very, very hard. Granted that we had to bring in people from around the world, more than 2,000 years of domain expertise, Indian origin people mostly that have gone around the world, done this experience for multiple years, and they come back to the country. But we developed the technology by ourselves. And when we went to some well-meaning well-wishers to me, when I was telling them that, hey, you know what, our objective is to develop the technology by ourselves, they were telling us that, dude, what's wrong with you? Go strike a partnership with somebody who's been around in the business for 2 decades and just bring the technology and align with them that we will work on something that is so nation. They don't want to bother about it. Low-end thing that we want to do, that high-ends will be done outside, low-end will be done in our country. We said, no, our objective is to, anything we touch in our business, we want to stay differentiated. And that differentiation should be so compelling that customers come to us not because we are cheap. Customers come to us because we have a certain differentiated technology that is so compelling that they only get it from us, right? So that's the type of leadership attitude and framework with which we formed the strategy of executing towards semiconductor assembly in India. And the reason why I say, many of you very young people, don't always go look at the moment somebody says technology, don't always look up what happens in America, what happens in Europe. We can do it, right? I tell you one other example. Again, it's an example from the United States, but many of you can relate probably. When I was there doing my PhD in the late 90s, and there used to be companies called blockbusters and everything. Some of you may have heard. And these are companies that you go in and do an online order. They will send you this is like 90s, right? Late 90s. Probably some of you weren't even born. And in the late 90s, they would go in and compete on, you go in and order a DVD movie of your choice and they will send it to you by mail. They were competing against each other I will send it to you in 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, 2 days, and I will even walk it in a few hours and everything. All this competition. Then there came Netflix. You push a button, live streaming, done instantly. The movie comes to you. What happened to all these billion-dollar institutions like Blockbuster and other companies that were doing this legacy brick and mortar businesses, shipping it to you, competing against how fast can they ship? All of them, many of them, Blockbuster was a $5 billion business, went out of business, bankruptcy, right? And you know, Netflix is today is still a very major live streaming supplier to the world. So think of those terms, right? Don't go against what is established today and don't chase the status quo. Don't go in and say, this is the definition, I'm trying to get there faster and hopefully a little better and create a competitive advantage. Think about how do you leapfrog? How do you leapfrog the competition, right? So when it comes to the theme of sustainability, when it comes to the theme of technology, and when it comes to the theme of intelligent system, do not think about like, how do I go and ape somebody and try to look a little bit better, right? And try and see how do I create a completely different solution, because people will be competing with us based on what they have invested. Suppose I have $100 in one hand and I have a certain manufacturing space in another hand. Why would I go put the same technology that Japan has and Korea has and China has and Taiwan has, and then the only thing you can compete is like, how cheap are you, right? I want to, the audience, and I want the young students here, I want the young students to think about how do you create a compelling, differentiated solutions. I give you one other thought process. As I was driving along the road, when I look outside and when I see all these plastics, I was just thinking, right? You know, the future is all about artificial intelligence, and probably humanoids will do most of our work, which is probably a good thing. We can all do what we like to do. Today, most of us, we chose the discipline. We chose to become a mechanical engineer, or we chose to become a social scientist or whatever. Many of us complain, right? Because we all have fundamentally something else we would like to do in our time and which we don't get the time. But if AI takes care of all the good things for us, we can sit at home and do what we like. But if the world gets run with AI, the world gets run with humanoid robots, why could we create a fleet of humanoid robots that will go in and clean the country in 2 days, right? And maintain the country clean. So I want you to think about solving real life problems that we have. All our rivers are polluted. All our roads are polluted. Plastic is killing us. Plastic is killing us. Microplastic is killing us. And we still see everything sold in plastic papers and plastic covers and everything. So I can certainly talk about technology and everything, but my humble, if there is something that I want to communicate to you people, it is very simple. Just go in and solve real problems that we have. And every country has its own long list of real world problems, right? So please take a few things that are core to our livelihood and solve those problems as a part of your undergraduate thesis or master's thesis or PhD thesis and so on. Another piece of advice I want to tell you is develop a global mindset, right? I want to give you an analogy. Let's say you are sitting, there is a huge palm tree, and you are sitting at the bottom of the palm tree. We are all human beings, we have a certain field of view, our vision capability, we have a certain field of view, right? So you see within that field of view what is happening. Whereas for the same capability, same human capability, if I go sit at the top of a palm tree with the same field of view, I suddenly see a very broader perspective. Going a little bit higher, if there is something called the highest point of the world, the topmost point of the universe, sit there and you know what's happening in the universe. So I want you to think globally. Don't think about what is happening in Kanchipuram or what is happening in Tamil Nadu or what is happening in Bharat or things like that. Develop a global, bigger perspective of life. Solve the big problems that the world is facing, right? Because it might be today somebody's problem, but tomorrow it will come to us. Somebody throws a garbage in Japan, it will come to our shores in a matter of time. So solve the problem from a global perspective, right? Develop a broader vision. Don't be narrow in your thinking. Another key point that I interact a lot with very young students. I literally stopped giving up talking to people who are in the PhD programs and things. I started talking to people in elementary school and high schools. Hopefully we set them right from that point. But I see everywhere there is people operate out of fear, right? It's culturally, there is a lot of fear born to us, right? I know when I grew up, I was told that you become an engineer or a doctor or be ready to stand in the street and beg, right? Hopefully those things have changed in the 3.5 decades that since the time that I have been out of school and everything. Hopefully those things are changing. But I don't want any one of you to working out of fear. Nobody knows and can predict the future. I mean, there are, of course, Swamigal and everything, Trikal and Yani, they are exceptions. Many of us cannot predict the future. Why do you assume you will fail and go work on how do you not fail? Go assume you'll succeed, wildly succeed, and go hit it out of the park. Think big, work big. Even if you fail on something so lofty, the amount of learning you will have will be far better than playing it safe and calling myself success. And at the end of the day, success and failure is where you draw the line. Right? I could draw the line at the bottom, anything looks like a success. I could draw the line on the very top and anything looks like a failure. Right? So don't worry about like artificial boundaries that we set for ourselves on success and failure. This dude went to a highly ranked academic institution. This guy went to some lower ranked academic institution. You have a better faculty, I have a worse faculty. All these really doesn't matter. These are all mind blocks that we create for ourselves. So I want you to, so I know I'm probably out of time, and if there are opportunity to ask questions, I would like to very much welcome that. But I want to leave you with a very simple thought process. Have the right mindset. Have a leadership mindset. And don't create ghosts in your mind. I mean, this is an Upanishad concept that you could walk along the road in the dark and you see something hit your feet and immediately say, that's a snake, right? Why don't you think that's a rope? And you immediately think it's a snake, and that might be the best, easiest route to go, but then you run away from there and you never go to that path again. So don't create mind blocks in yourself. Don't create mind blocks in yourself. We as human, I mean, the greatest thing about this university is that it brings all the benefit of our Shastric learning and all the modernity associated with learning. We bring both of which harmoniously together. If anything can be done somewhere to bring that harmony, it is here than anywhere else. So you are very fortunate to be in that environment. First, realize that there is something you have done right to be here where you are. Make the best use of it. So I want to summarize by saying, right, develop a mindset, develop a global mindset, get rid of ghosts in your mind. If you think you will succeed, you will succeed. A lot of people step into things that have never been done before. If they think that they are going to fail, they will not even step. Don't worry about failure. These are all artificial concepts that we create in your mind, right? Develop a leadership attitude. Doesn't matter if you really work on something that is truly pioneering, even if by somebody's definition it is called a failure, the learning will be so big. Many entrepreneurs, many of them have failed, and it is that failure that formed the stepping stone for them to succeed. So please, take simple problems, have leadership attitude, and solve it for the nation, solve it for the world. So that's my key message for today. And I was told to talk about semiconductors, so I will just briefly touch upon semiconductors. Semiconductors, very simple conceptually, right? All we deal with is beach sand. Beach sand is silica, SiO2. Right? You take that SiO2, you remove this oxidation, of course not an easy thing. You remove all this oxide and you get pure silica. And then you melt this thing, so you get a liquid of silicon. And then you make a single crystal out of it. How many of you spend a lot of money, thousands of rupees and lakhs of rupees and crores of rupees in buying diamonds and everything? We make a single crystal that is like this big, an ingot that is 300 millimeter wide and literally like this big. So we make a single crystal out of it, that big a single crystal. Then we dice it, we have something called wafer, right? It's like a round looking thing, roughly 300 millimeters in diameter. That's the foundation. We call it a substrate. And all that, everything that you see that drives your phone, that drives your car, and drives your pressure cooker, and drives everything else in the world, it's ubiquitous everywhere these days. All that is there in the first few nanometers of this silicon, right? It's atomic dimensions. And then it's so small, nobody can do anything with it. You cannot go connect it to an electrical outlet with something in a nanometer. So everything else is redistribution to be able to bring more functionality and to be able to handle the signal integrity and handle the power delivery and everything. It's that simple. If you know this much about semiconductors, you can work in semiconductor field. Everything else is just a little bit details. So don't worry about semiconductor is like is a big thing and the most complex thing and everything. Right? Let that not deter you. If you think it is big, if you see a ghost there, you have seen a ghost there, you will never even touch it, right? And deliberately and go and do things beyond your comfort level. That's been my personal learning in life. And I want our nation to be pioneering nation. We want India to stand up as a leader, not as yet another player. We want to be an unquestionable leader. So I hope you develop the same mindset and you develop the leadership attitude, and you all, whatever is the definition of successful, I wish you the very best. Go off and do something wonderful. Don't be afraid to go in the dark. That's my message to you. Thank you, and hope it has been helpful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful and inspiring address. Sustainability and leadership truly does begin from each one of us. Your perspectives from this industry have certainly enriched this gathering and motivated our researchers and students. We are deeply honored to have a distinguished scientist, visionary technologist, and an eminent leader who has made remarkable contributions to research, innovation, and technology across academia and industry. Our chief guest, Dr. Shivakumar Kalyanaraman, is the Chief Executive Officer of the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, the apex body established to promote research and innovation across universities, colleges, and research institutions in India. Before assuming this prestigious role, Dr. Kalyanaraman served as the Chief Technology Officer for the energy industry in Asia at Microsoft, where he played a key role in driving technological innovation and digital transformation across multiple sectors. His illustrious career spans several globally reputed organizations. He has held leadership positions at IBM Research and GE Power Convention, contributing to pioneering work in areas such as Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, energy systems, smart infrastructure, and digital technologies. Dr. Kalyanaraman also had a distinguished academic career as a tenured full professor at Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, where he made significant contributions to research in computer networking and advanced computing systems. He holds a B.Tech in Computer Science from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras, and completed his master's and PhD from Ohio State University, along with an executive MBA from RPI. Dr. Kalyanaraman is widely recognized for his outstanding contributions to science and technology. He is a fellow of the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers and the Indian National Academy of Engineering, and has been honored with several prestigious recognitions, including ACM Distinguished Scientist, Microsoft Gold Club Award, and the MIT Technology Review TR100 Young Innovator Award. With such an extraordinary career that bridges academia, industry, and national research leadership, it is truly a privilege for us to have him with us today. We are truly honored and delighted that he has graciously agreed to be part of this inaugural session and address us virtually. Even though he is joining us online, his presence and guidance mean a great deal to all of us gathered here today. May I now request our chief guest, Dr. Shivakumar Kalyanaraman, to kindly address the gathering and share his thoughts with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you hear me clearly? Just a quick acknowledgement would be nice. Can you hear me clearly, please?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So, and can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So first, my thanks to the organizers of this conference and the leaders at the institution and my good friend, Dr. Charan from Tata Electronics, and what an inspiring address he has given to all of you. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't speak from my heart as much as he does, so I will use a few slides to introduce you to Anusandhan National Research Foundation and its vision and what we are trying to do. So our goal in ANRF is to catalyze India's rise as a research and innovation powerhouse. We are a statutory body of the Government of India, and the special status of this body is recognized by the fact that we are presided by the Honorable Prime Minister of India himself. And this is probably one of the only statutory bodies which he presides. So it's a very special status that this body has, and the goal here, as I mentioned, is to be a catalyst, not a crutch for India. And we have several things to do. And our genesis of ANRF comes from the national education policy, where it was felt that the current funding mechanisms were doing a lot of smaller funding at individual department scale, but things were fragmented and not integrated. Larger things across the TRL spectrum or more impactful mission mode things were harder to do, even though there have been multiple trials of various centers and other things that have been done before. It was happening more sporadically than in an integrated and consistent manner. Also, a statutory body is something that is long-lived institution, and it has certain degrees of flexibility which cannot be further leveraged, as I shall explain. So finally, this was enshrined in the ANRF Act of 2023, which was passed in August 2023, and the organization was notified in February 2024. We are barely 2 years old, just a little bit over 2 years old, and I have been in my job for about a year. In fact, I will complete 1 year in a few days. But so the governance structure of this organization is it has a two-tier board. The top board is the governing board, which is presided by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, and then the executive council is chaired by the principal scientific advisor. There are a range of secretaries across scientific departments and ministries, as well as Niti Aayog, which are who are across the governing board and executive council, who provide direction and help me execute the agenda of this institution. So ANRF is a key mechanism for catalyzing the rise of India as a research and innovation powerhouse. One way to think about it is when Sri Nandan Nilekani went to create Aadhaar, there was a statutory body called UIDAI that was created. It was focused on creation of the Aadhaar, and then later it has helped in various other pieces of the puzzle, and then other organizations stepped in like NPCI and so on to do UPI and various pieces of that puzzle. So similarly, ANRF is really focused as a mechanism, and it's not a policy organization. And today it expresses the mechanisms in two parts. One is in early stages of research, we use grant mechanisms through our ANRF core, and I'll explain more of that on how we do that. But even the way we do granting is quite different. And then the second part is the RDI scheme, which is the translation and scale up. That is only for private sector, and it is a capital scheme. It is not a grant scheme. And it focuses on various instruments that can be driven by second level fund managers. So just to give you a little bit more of a picture, we get either grants or loans from the central government, which is put into appropriate funds and which are allocated out. The grants we do directly, whereas the RDI is being done through second level fund managers, because it's a large amount of money, and the second level fund managers allocate it faster, as well as expected to allocate better than what government can do it on its own. And also companies and entities don't want government on their balance sheets, so this level of indirection achieves that as well. So the real economy can be deep tech startups, it can be joint ventures or other projects from companies of different sizes and so on. So the goal is to really catalyze, as you can see, our primary goal, innovation in deep tech, innovation in research development, and innovation intensive sectors in the economy. And by creating this asset class, the 1 lakh crore that the government is putting out will get multiplied into multiple lakh crores by the time it hits the real economy. And this will create a demand for human resources. This will create demand for PhDs, postdocs, and others, right? Like advanced master's degrees and even bachelor's degrees with thesis option and so on. If you're able to do creative research and innovation, you will be in high demand. As companies try to build their own internal capabilities, similarly, companies will try to do industry academic collaborations, and it will drive more industry academic collaboration as part of this. So to complement that RDI strategy, we have NRF Core, which I run directly. This is a grant set of schemes which we do similar to National Science Foundation. We have a broad horizontal grant schemes which support bold fundamental research. All our schemes are open call programs where anybody can submit. All these universities, any national lab, etc., and many programs, other entities which are not for profit, including Section 8 companies, DSIR, CSIRO recognized entities, etc., research organizations can submit proposals to these programs, and we are increasingly focusing on supporting programs and proposals which are more impact driven. And at the same time, we support fundamental research because without deep science, there's no deep tech. So we are increasing the allocations both for deep science as well as deep tech and applied research of various kinds. And then the vertical is more like DARPA or more focused research in various areas. And this can be in the forms of missions, challenges, and industry academic collaborations of various kinds. I'll give you some idea of all of this, and all of this is meant to be a pipeline to RDI and also driving a lot more collaboration for impact across entities. And our overall focus is impact driven, excellence driven, and collaboration driven, right? So, and at the same time, we want to increase the competitiveness and broaden the distribution of excellence. So there are various things we're doing around research capacity development as well. So another way to look at it is our horizontal schemes are all like a foundation, whereas the vertical schemes are more like pillars in various areas. And our different programs can be sort of mapped to these either horizontal or vertical. And think of our horizontal program as also building capacity for the long run, supporting fundamental research and bolder early stage research and so on. And we do this across our ARG grant program where we supported over 1,500 projects, and the Prime Minister's Early Career Grant Program, and then other fellowship and other programs. And we also have a Convergence Center of Excellence, which is currently under review. So the other capacity development program, but done in a mission mode, is our PAIR program, where we have supported hubs and spokes across the country. And for example, ISSC is one of the hub which is supporting spokes across the country, including not just in Karnataka, but also across the country, all the way to West Bengal or the Northeast, or all the way up to Jammu and Kashmir and so on, right? So similarly, there are 18 hubs. IIT Madras is a category B hub, which has been supported for 1 year. And then we'll be doing another round of this hub and spoke called PAIR coming up in the future. So the idea is to help really the spoke institutions grow and develop in collaboration with the hub. So it's not just about giving money to the spokes, but also to provide hand-holding and development and collaborations, better connections, networking, and accelerated development. And also whatever content is being developed in the hubs and so on, we are, ANRF is sort of working with them to cross-post that, and many of these workshops and others are being live streamed and shared on the network as well as like YouTube. And we are also cross-posting it in our YouTube channel. So I would urge you to also follow ANRF's YouTube channel or our other social media channels. We are quite active there. And if you're not following us, you're missing something. So there are other programs like these. I'll just quickly go through the fact that we have more vertical programs. These are more mission mode and in various sectors. So we have been launching almost a program every couple of months nowadays. Electric mobility, medical technologies, medtech, 2D materials, AI for science and engineering, critical raw materials, drones, and so on. And soon we are also going to be launching a societal innovation mission, but we call this leapfrog demonstrators. This is not to do small things and early stage research, but really to drive research that can actually be significant demonstrators that can drive change and can make impact on these areas, right? So we are supporting things at critical mass, but at the same time demanding and expecting impact and more collaboration across various areas. So as you can see, these are sector-specific investments or societal-driven investments. And as part of this, ANRF is also driving collaboration across different ministries as well as external entities like foundations and other companies and so on. So this is allowing us to expand our budget beyond what we ourselves put out, but expanding the budget beyond this to other parts. And this drives a lot more investment from the government as well as non-government entities. So, for example, our AI for Science and Engineering has multiple pieces. Each piece involves partnerships with different line ministries as depicted here. We are also doing innovations in terms of licenses. Here, the work is done in academia, but it's technology is open licensed, which can then be quickly translated over to industry for faster scaling through startups and other means. So this will lead to an open stack of just like we have an open stack like Aadhaar and UPI and so on. We can have an open stack of models that India can create, which can be in all forms of engineering and then all the way to applications. You heard about semiconductors, but it can also be in areas like materials, climate, weather, biochemical, and other areas. So we just recently announced the first round of results of screening, and then we will be getting full proposals shortly, and we'll decide soon. So another format we are driving is translational research. We are investing significantly into translation research centers. We recently closed a program around this where we will be putting together pilot scale manufacturing facilities and other sorts of things that are going to be bridging this valley of death, TRL 4 to 6 type space, TRL 4 to 7, and helping lab to market transitions. And again, this is something where we are planning to invest significantly. Again, we don't do extremely small centers here. These are going to be large centers, but at various scales. And there will be a combination of industry and other non-industry partners who can co-invest along with the NRF in this. So this is another exciting program that's currently underway. We will be doing another cycle of this in a year. So partnerships we do with non-governmental or other partners in different ways. Either a partner like industry or others can come and work with a university like yours, and then together those university or a set of universities or labs can propose projects to NRF, and then it will be competitively evaluated on merit, and then once that is funded, obviously, so the industry can leverage the government investments at various levels. Another is a top-down schemes where we set up partnerships at the top level at very large amounts, 100 crores plus, and then we then put together programs like we have done with some foundations and others, and then that will lead to new programs, and that will again benefit the grantees. Now we could have combinations of all of this, and over time all our ANRF programs will be open for co-funding as we go forward. So let me move on and say that we are also very active on social media, but not just as a notice board, but also we are using it as a platform to highlight our young researchers. So we've done a lightning talk series with our early career researchers. We'll be expanding this. We are doing an ANRF Plus program with many institutions. So we are doing many things. And in addition, we do webinars and other things for our major programs as well. And we have channels for various activities that are already underway, and we will be expanding these going forward. In addition, we are also creating AI tools for democratizing research. One of the open source projects we support is called Saral, which is to demystify research and make it much more accessible, and to help a researcher in a budding university, access papers, understand it in their own language. For example, you can understand a paper in Tamil and in a video as opposed to trying to read the original paper. And then once you understand the paper in the short summary, then you can go and do these things. Now, as a researcher, it also helps you with a single click. You can take your paper and convert it into a poster. Now, imagine that. And it can convert this into multiple languages. You can build your own brand. You can get presentations and other things. So all of this is completely free, and it's available online. And we are going to use this also to drive technology transfer and integrate it into various processes. This also works with patents as well now. And by the way, we can also create Instagram reels and YouTube videos and LinkedIn posts and Twitter threads with this. So we are starting to see lots of users of this, and and different things that we are supporting. And every month or so, we are doing releases. And there's a new release going to come in the March release shortly with new business briefs and other capabilities that are there. So we already have 5,000 plus unique users. I would urge all of you to consider using Saral, both for your own research and as well as encourage others to do that. So this is all part of a larger set of apex things that we'll do as an institution to cut across and democratize research and lower frictions and do other things. Okay, with that, I urge you to connect with ANRF in various social media channels. We are there on LinkedIn, we are there on Twitter, we are there on Facebook, we are there on Instagram, we are there on YouTube, and also, as I said, we are not just a notice board. We are doing things that can help, sort of highlight researchers and so on. Okay, with that, I want to thank you, and let me get back to the thing. I can take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful address on ANRF and for officially inaugurating ISSF 2026. As we come to the close of this inaugural session, it is time to express our sincere gratitude to all those who have contributed to making this event meaningful and successful. Gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but also the foundation of every successful gathering. To formally convey our thanks to the distinguished dignitaries, speakers, delegates, and everyone who has supported the organization of this conference, I now invite Dr. P. Sharmukapriya, member of the organizing committee, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, one and all present here. Good morning, one and all present here. It is my privilege to propose the vote of thanks for this auspicious inaugural function of International Conference on Intelligent Systems for a Sustainable Future 2026. On behalf of the committee, the organizing committee of ISSF 2026, first and foremost, we express our deep sense of gratitude to the management and authorities of Sri Chandrasekharendra Saraswati Vishwamahavidyalaya for granting us the opportunity to organize the prestigious international event. We extend our heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Chancellor, Professor Dr. Padma Shri Vempati Kudumba Shastri, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. G. Srinivasu, for his constant encouragement and visionary guidance. Our sincere thanks to Professor Dr. R. Vasant Kumar Mehta, Pro Vice Chancellor, and Professor Dr. G. Sriram, Registrar, for their continuous, unwavering support and cooperation throughout the preparation and organization of this program. We are deeply honored by the presence of our chief guest, Dr. Shivakumar Kalyanaraman, CEO, ANRF. Thank you, sir, for your inspiring inaugural address for officially declaring the conference open. Our sincere gratitude to our chief guest of honor, Dr. Charan Gurumurthy, Chief Executive, Tata Semiconductor Assembly and Test Private Limited, for sharing your valuable industry insights with us today and your advices to our budding students, sir. Thank you, sir. So we also thank our Professor Dr. M. Ratnakumar, Dean Engineering and Technology, for his continuous motivation, as well as Professor K. Balachandran, Convener, and Dr. T. Rajmogan, Organizing Secretary, for their meticulous planning and execution and leadership. A conference is defined by the quality of its research. We owe a huge debt of gratitude to our technical reviewers. Your expertise and rigorous evaluation of the submitted papers have ensured that ISSF 2026 maintains the highest academic standards. Thank you for your time and dedication to the peer review process. So in the paper review process, my special thanks to Dr. Vijay Bhaskar and Mrs. Vishwapriya for the day-to-day activities that they have involved in reviewing the papers and completing this review process a successful one. An event of this magnitude is the collective effort. We extend our sincere thanks and gratitude to all the head of the various departments of SCSVMV, the teaching and non-teaching faculty members of SCSVMV for this tireless contribution, the technical support team for ensuring the seamless digital and audio-visual experience, the office assistance teams for their dedicated administrative coordination, and the organizing committee members of ISSF 2026. I thank the electrical and maintenance team for their hard work and support in preparing this venue. I thank the members of press and media for their presence and for sharing the vision of this ISSF conference to the public. I thank the student volunteers for their support and coordination, and I thank each and everyone, those who are contributing, and for the next 2 days also we are having sessions for this presentation, and people who are contributing for this, for all of them, I am extending my thanks. Finally, we thank all the delegates, researchers, and participants who have joined us from various parts, and your presence is what truly makes this conference a success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, ma'am, for that heartfelt expression of gratitude. With this, we come to the conclusion of the inaugural ceremony of ISSF 2026. The insightful addresses and encouraging words shared today have truly set a positive tone for the sessions ahead. We look forward to 2 days of enriching discussions, knowledge exchange, and meaningful collaboration. Once again, I thank all the distinguished dignitaries, speakers, delegates, faculty members, and students for being a part of this wonderful occasion. I now request everyone to kindly rise for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जाहे तव शुभ आशीष माहे, गाहे तव जय गाथा, जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
All the